Hi, Shama and James. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's amazing to have you both here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I am Rumela, by the way. I'm the lead editor at WeddingWire India. A little bit about WeddingWire India. We are a global wedding brand family. James, you might have heard about WeddingWire.com and the Not back in US. Here, we are the Indian sister concern, and we are creating opportunities for more than 66,000 vendors and venues and connecting all of them to couples. And we're also creating loads of inspirations for them, which is where you are playing a very important role today. Being a part of the WeddingWire India Presents the Power Couples series. Firstly, congratulations. The newlyweds are here. Super excited to have the two of you. Is the wedding fever still on, or is it fading away now?
Is it called wedding fever? What we have right now?
Wedding fever is all the excitement, I think, right?
Yeah, I think we're just now missing all that excitement. We are in that phase of can you go back to it again and experience it all over again, because it was so much fun, and we just didn't want it to end, but it did.
Yeah, it was the most fun weekend, I think, of our entire lives.
Yeah.
And it just went by too quickly.
Yeah.
I understand that the wait was for quite long for the two of you, because you met a long time ago, right? It's been more than 6 years now.
Yeah, we've been dating each other since 8 years. Yeah.
Now, and I had read something about the wedding happening in 2020. Did it get delayed because of COVID?
Yes, it did.
It actually did, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then it was a long wedding period indeed. Congratulations, it finally happened, and it's so nice to see the two of you together.
Thank you.
It's really exciting to interview the two of you today, especially because I love intercultural weddings, and the two of you are just breaking barriers in India, because we talk to a lot of couples. We know that there are cultural barriers, sometimes language barriers, and so many reasons why relationships fall apart. So it's amazing that you're just broken all of that, and here you are.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We feel glad to hear that.
That's sweet. I do want to ask the two of you, what is your love language? How have you been together for so many years, fighting so many odds, barriers, etc.? What was the biggest inspiration?
Our love language is simply love. It's not complicated, honestly. It's very simple and easy. Whenever we're in love with ourselves, we are in love with each other, we are always in love, whether we are in lows, in highs, we are in love. It's never been, that love has never been out of the picture. And once that is your base, I think that a lot of challenges can be taken care of. Once you believe in each other and you give your whole to each other, a lot of problems can actually dissolve very, very quickly and very easily. And we both are very easy people, so I keep emphasizing on being easy, because easy is right. It literally is. If you are easy in life, if you have easy fundas, easy way of looking at life, and being easy in most circumstances, then you end up having a very easy life. That doesn't mean that you don't have challenges. You will have challenges, but because you have that ease towards life, your challenges also becomes really small, and they disperse really fast. Most of our challenges in life become really big because we make them big in our mind. It actually isn't that big. So every time I guess we've had any hurdle like that, that's how we have conquered it, or went through it. What about you?
Yeah, I think we've made a commitment to each other to be good communicators, and we really very much strive to communicate in our relationship the most that we possibly can, even in times where it might be uncomfortable to do so. We found that just laying out all of our feelings and emotions and ideas and things that we're hesitant about, or things like that has been really important for us. And I think that, communication is one of the biggest challenges that most couples face. And it can be from something, a huge life decision, or it could be something as small as like, which restaurant should we go to tonight, and sometimes like there's one person in that relationship who maybe would feel guilty about imposing a decision on like, let's go to this restaurant or that restaurant. I mean, like even in small decisions in relationships, there's so many complexities that we have to deal with,
Or even expressing love. I feel like, a lot of people cannot find it difficult to express love because of the conditioning that they've come from. They've not had a chance to break those barriers and, start a new cycle of love. They don't know the love language. Like the love language has so many different ways you can express love. We express love with our words. We express love with our bodies. We are constantly telling each other that, just by a touch, just by a look, a glance, that I'm there with you and you're loved and you're appreciated. It's just, you don't have to say it verbally every time, but it's in your body language. And a lot of us lack that body language. I've seen in life, most people have difficulty showing their love. They have a lot of love to show, but they don't know how to, because their families have not been very expressive, and they don't know how to, hug a person. They don't know how to, hold a person. They don't know how to be intimate with another person. Share your emotions, how to express your emotions. A lot of people lack expressing of emotions. I think that's why they go through a lot of problems which don't exist actually, which are just our existential crisis. So
would you call that the biggest strength in your relationship, that you have been able to communicate, it's been free flowing and there's been no hassle at all?
Without a doubt. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that and just our commitment, I mean, we made a decision to be committed to each other, and we have been.
Yeah.
And that makes life a lot easier when you know that you have somebody there with you, and that person is going to be there with you, and you've talked about where you want to go in life and all of those things.
When there are no doubts about things.
Yeah.
It's like you're sure. The surety is very important.
A common question I'm sure a lot of people have asked you, but our readers would definitely want to know, how did it begin for the two of you? I know it's been a long time since you've been together, but what was that first moment like?
You want to say that?
Yeah, sure. We met. We met over dinner. There was a mutual friend who invited us both to come out to dinner once, and we still don't know to this day if it was an intentional setup. I don't know. I'm not sure that it was. We've questioned it, but yeah, it started very simple. Like it wasn't anything. Then afterwards, we went out to some other place and danced for a little bit, and then we all ended back up at a house party. And I think there was some mystery between us, that started growing over the course of that evening. The more time that I spent with her, from the time that we started dinner all the way through dancing and beyond, I just I felt like even if she was standing like not in my direct line of sight, it was like I knew that she was there, and like I could feel there was something special about her presence. And I just I knew from the first day that I met her that she was a very honest person who was very true to her nature, and I fell in love with that very quickly.
Yeah. So I had this immense pull towards him. I had this very, very strong, like a magnetic pull, literally. Like it was my own soul or something of my own was calling me towards him. And it was very weird to me because I had met the person for the first time in my life out of nowhere. There was no inclination, or there was no like, oh, today I'm going to meet a guy or I'm going to date somebody. I was in a phase of my life where I didn't want to date anybody, where I just was so much in love with myself for the first time. I fully accepted myself the way I was, and I loved that part of, the whole of me. And that's exactly when I meet him. So I wasn't really planning for anything. And then I'm finding it very weird that this guy is really, is there something wrong with me? How am I feeling this pull? Because I've never felt that for anybody before. And it's not physical, it's like a mixture of everything. It's physical, mental, it's like the whole of me is getting pulled by this man. And so that happened very, very quickly, like in the very first meeting. And then we just kept meeting every day, and we just realized that we're spending a lot of time together, and then we don't get bored of each other, and we really like to talk, and we can talk about anything. And that ease, that whole ease was from the very beginning in both of us. We were both very, very, very complete being who were there, who were overflowing with love for ourselves, ready to give that to the other person.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Wow, you sound like there were bigger forces playing behind all of this. And and everything you said, I don't know, I have a hint that you're a believer of the universe and maybe the force. Yeah.
Absolutely. I had just asked the universe, like, how do you know that this is the guy for you? Because I saw this film, I think there's a movie called How Do You Know? And obviously it's about the girl's journey of how she finds the right guy. And I was wondering, like, yeah, man, I never had that before. Like, how do you know? Like, I've fallen in love. But I never knew that this is the person I'm going to spend my whole life with. I never had that thing that this is the right guy and I want to move. This is going to be my man. It's a different kind of feeling. You feel, when you date somebody, you feel that, you love that person and you would love for him to be your man, but you never have I didn't have that surety that this is my man. And when I met him the first time, like the first week when he proposed to me that he loved me, it didn't feel odd to me. It was weird. It was like, how does it feel? It was so easy and so genuine. Like there was no need of any shosha. There was no need of any, gimmicks. It was just simply pure integrity, pure innocence, pure vulnerability, pure love. Like, that's what just blew my mind. It just blew my mind. So yeah.
I love how you said within a week he proposed. I do have a question for James here. So I get it, Shama is a believer. She's surely manifested this beautiful relationship for herself. But what about you, James? Are you the same? Are you also a believer? And when you saw her, did you just know that, okay, this is the woman the universe has sent for me?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've been a person that since I was very young, I was looking out for the woman that I could spend the rest of my life with. And it was so funny because it was like the rest of my life just kept passing me by before I met her. Neither of us met when we were like 18, 20 years old. We met much later in life. And but I myself have always, since as long as I can remember, been looking out for the right woman who I felt like completed me or was my other half, whatever, of these, words that people put on it. But I just always felt that there was somebody out there who I would be able to spend all of my time with, who would become my best friend, who, eventually that I would marry. And I spent a long time looking. And then when I met her, I just knew because a lot of people a lot of people will never be able to understand the depth of our relationship. And there's many people who we've met who have told us later on, including family members, that we're much, much more alike than they had originally thought that we were.
Yeah.
And we know, because we spend all of our time together, that we are very much a reflection of each other in the best ways.
Yeah.
And I think I knew that within the first week. And so now here we are. Yeah, I told her that I loved her. I loved her pretty early in our relationship, and it's because I meant it. it's because I meant it. And I was confident that I was not lying to myself and I was not lying to her, that I really did. You know, I'm a person of love in general. And obviously the love that I felt for you was extra special. And now here we are. So.
Yeah.
Even before we've published this anywhere, I am listening to your story like right now, and all I can think of is wow, I'm just spellbound. Because the way you're looking at each other, the way you're telling me things, I think in this generation, the biggest problem is the ifs and the buts. And here I am talking to a couple who has been sure from the very first day. That is just amazing. That's magical. Congratulations. And this is beautiful.
Thank you.
But I'd like to say at this point that, whatever time we took to find each other, life made us sure of ourselves. And once we were sure of ourselves and we loved ourselves truly and fully, we were able to love each other like this. Because we knew what we wanted. We were sure of ourselves, our being. We respected who we were as people. There are a lot of doubts. There are a lot of self-doubts in people today. They don't know who they are and they don't even understand who they are. And then they want to find a life partner because they feel the need to have a partner. Obviously, we're human beings and we are all beings of love and we need love and we want love. But the relationship out of a need is always, I always feel like I don't think it lasts very long. But the relationship out of want and choice will last long.
Yes.
However long you wanna choose it for, it has the potential to last longer than the relationships of need, because need-based relationships ends as soon as your needs are met. But your choice is always a forever living thing. You see, you have the power to choose, and when you choose you choose the right partner for yourself. And the right partner comes to you. Like he came to me. I didn't go for him. He came from US to India, I literally pulled him here. And when I met him, it was like, whoa, there's this immense pull happening here. What's happening here? So literally, we both are very, very easy people. We both are very, very simple at heart. We are, we don't like drama in life. We keep away from all of that, and we are very, very strong-headed towards that. Like we believe in it strongly. I don't think people are aware of how much good vibrations matter.
Yeah.
I don't think they're aware of how much good company matters. But we see it very deeply. We just somehow have the ability to see it very deeply and appreciate it for what it is. So that's very important for any relationship, whether it's friendship or even your relationship with yourself. It's very, very important that you know who you really are and you respect and value that.
I think you have a very calm and composed aura about it. That just makes it more beautiful, and you're so sure about everything. Is that the reason why your wedding was, or it could also be COVID, but is that the reason why you decided to have a very elegant but a very intimate affair? Like, not make it very loud, because that doesn't seem to be your personality.
No, we don't have that very loud personality. We have a very content, easy, confident personality. Both of us. So we're just lucky that way. We're blessed. And I didn't want to have a very large wedding ever. I didn't want to get married only at first. I totally believed in love, but I never believed in marriage because of the kind of people that I met and I saw, and how I won't call them insensitive, but how not in depth they were. How they were okay to live a very superficial life. How a lot of them didn't even think that there was something wrong with that. How a lot of them were okay with their doubts. Like, I'm not okay having doubts. I will fight for it. I will spend my time. I will meditate over it. I will freaking go search in the mountains if I have any questions, because that's my main motto. I want to be clear. I want to have clarity in life. Clarity is so important, and that can only happen when you are really passionate about life, when you are passionate about your being, like I'm very passionate about my being, I cannot have any negative energy around me. I will not allow it. It's not I cannot, I just don't allow it. It's as simple as that. That person can be whoever it is. If it's a negative, if he carries or she carries any negative energy that doesn't serve me, and I am not able to give anything in return to that energy, I just, move away from that. So a lot of people, I think, are suffering from that in today's world. And that's why they have a lot of doubts. We were not. We were very easy. We were always easygoing and love-oriented. We always believed in love. So to me, a union of love was more important than anything else. And why would you want to invite the whole world for that? For what? Like, you don't even know those people. Those kind of weddings didn't make any sense to me. I've seen those kind of weddings, and with all due respect, I'm sure they had fun. But looking at them, I would feel I would feel the burden. I would feel like, wow, these poor people, the bride and the groom, have no space or time for themselves. All they're doing is just meeting and greeting the guests that they have no idea about. Yeah. So we always wanted to have a very intimate wedding with our loved ones and with people who really are very close to us and who matter, whose opinion or happiness matter to us. And we just wanted to celebrate our love together with them. And of course, on a larger picture, we want to celebrate it with all our fans and with the people, because they also matter to us, But obviously, everybody couldn't be invited to our wedding. It had to be intimate, and it was always meant to be like that for us.
Yes, and thankfully it turned out just beautifully.
Yeah,
it was so much fun.
Yeah,
I can't tell you, it was so much fun. We did decide to keep it just to some close family and friends, and because of that, it created an environment that
was pure love.
Yeah, it was pure love,
yeah.
And everybody that was there. Typically at a wedding, you get people who show up and then they grumble about, the food wasn't right, or they grumble about, this was inconvenient, that was inconvenient. We didn't experience any of that because the only people that were there were people who really, really love us and are very close to us, and we love them very deeply as well.
Yeah. And then it was just magical. It was literally magical. That's why we want to go back. We want to just be there because there's so much love.
Yeah.
It was just so beautiful. I mean, we're just so blessed to have had a most beautiful wedding. Yeah.
Shama, I must say this to you. I think it takes a queen to battle depression and then come so far that today you do not allow any negative energy in your aura. You've built that for yourself. So that's amazing.
Thank you.
It's really inspiring. Thank you for setting that example for everyone.
Thank you. It's just respect for my being, nothing else. I respect myself a lot, and I don't let myself also take that for granted. Even if sometimes we always have many personalities within, and we always thinking, hey, but for public this thing you should talk to this person, or for so and so reason you should talk to that person. But it's like, no, that person doesn't gel with my being, and even I don't allow that to myself. If I have to do that for my career or for my this or for my that, I just don't, because I feel like the utmost respect comes from when you respect yourself fully and totally, and you embrace yourself as who you truly are. And it's not like I have any ego. It's just that I will be disrespectful to that energy, because it's not about positive, negative also. It's more about that energy is different. I don't serve that energy, and that's not my energy, and my energy is different. So I need to just find the tribe that matches my energy, that makes it grow, because that's my choice. That's my personal choice. I choose to be this way, and I'm born this way, and I need to respect that. If I don't respect that, if all of us don't respect that, it's never going to happen.
James, what does it take to love a woman like her?
Everything.
Men need to know.
No.
It takes everything to love a woman like me.
No, it does.
It takes everything to love. Let me just put it that way. Don't you think?
I think it takes everything to love anybody fully.
Yeah.
and for a woman like her, a little bit more than that. She's lovely. She makes my job as a husband very easy, because she, like I mentioned before, we're good communicators, and she's like, there's this concept of like the typical like nagging housewife, she doesn't nag about anything. She will sometimes communicate very clearly that she doesn't like something or that she would rather do something else, but it's never nagging. It's like, that makes my job really easy. Yeah, I think, I don't know. I never thought about that before. That's a great question.
Yeah,
For me, my whole like funda in life and marriage is that you should give 100% of yourself to your partner. And if both partners can accomplish that, if I can give 100% of myself to her and she can give 100% of herself to me, then neither of us will ever feel empty.
Yeah.
We will always be constantly filling each other up and filling each other up and filling each other up. So it was my commitment, and it's my commitment to her, but it's also my commitment to myself as a man, because I think as a man, you should be able to stand by your word. You should be able to be committed to someone or something. And so I actually take it for myself. I mean, I externally, I love her, but I take it for myself, for my own self-respect, that I should be able to give everything to my woman and be able to stand by her and be able to fend off whatever may come, for the sake of something that I believe in, which is a lot deeper than surface level.
Yeah, so we're very selflessly selfish people.
Yeah.
We do it for our own joy, but our joy is to give our 100% to each other.
Yes.
So, we're just blessed, I guess. If that I always wanted to have a relationship like that, because I was going through people in my life, and I was always feeling that lack, and I always felt like, I just need somebody. I just want somebody who can love me the way I have the potential to love. Because I was always the 100% giver, I was always in every relationship. If I got into a relationship, I gave my whole. But if it doesn't come, if it doesn't get reciprocated, then there's a problem. So you very rightly said that if both partners can achieve it, like, there's nothing better than that.
And I really wish that they could.
Yes.
If I could change like anything in the world, relationship-wise, I would just go around to every human being in the world and just drill it into their head that they should just give everything that they can in a relationship. Because if everybody does that, then it won't be that rare to find people who are willing to do that. Today it's rare to find somebody who's willing to give their all and who's willing to really commit. And it's rare because most people are not ready to do that. They've not trained themselves to do it. They've not been conditioned to do it. They have issues that, maybe prevent them from being who they really want to be. But yeah, man, wouldn't that be a fantastic world to live in if everybody was just ready to love?
Yeah.
You remind me of that quote by Frida Kahlo: "Takes a lover who looks at you like maybe you are magic." I think that's just how it is between the two of you. Conventional questions don't work for the two of you at all, because there's an emotional maturity here that's just making this interview so much more a beautiful experience for me. The reason why I asked you that question, James, about what does it take to love a woman like her, is basically because we are in sad and dark times right now, where mental health it has always been a problem, but people are talking about it now. Initially, people were not so confident to just step up and say that, okay, I'm going through depression, or I'm battling something serious that is related to my mental health. But I have observed this, that people are still scared to own up to it, and partners are scared to love people who have gone through something similar. So it's also your courage that has brought in so much emotional maturity and beauty to this relationship. And I just wanted to understand, like I said, no conventional questions for the two of you, But I do want to understand that what would be your message, both of you, to our readers in these dark times on how they should support their partners in their journey?
You want to start?
Thank you for asking that question. A couple of people have been writing to my inbox, and I happened to read one of the message of a girl one day, and she said that my boyfriend is going through bipolar disorder, and I don't know. I want to love him, but I don't know if that's the right thing because my friends are telling me something else and blah blah blah. And I for some reason I got busy and I couldn't reply to her. But today, you asked me a similar question. So, when people are going through mental health issues, I don't like to call them illnesses because they're not illnesses. They're literally just patterns that have been followed by centuries, that have been followed by our parents and their parents and grandparents and everybody. So we believe that it is some kind of illness because it's become an activity that we use in our day-to-day life, or a thought pattern that we use in our day-to-day life, and we are unfortunately all of us, all human beings, are just a product of bad conditioning, nothing else. We've not had a proper conditioning, and as I told you before, people are afraid to show love. Parents don't know how to love their children. I remember when I was a child, my parents loved me immensely, but they didn't know the physical language of love. They would never tell me that they loved me. And so as I was growing up, I was a very blunt child. I had the courage to speak the truth always. And so I one day had a fight with my mother. I told her that you're not a loving mother because you don't show me physical love. And my mother was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? I love you so much. Your father loves you. I said, no, none of you love me because you never show me any physical love language. And obviously as a child, I was also not aware of that. There are many other love languages that exist. We are just not, as a child, you're not yet fully developed. Your mind is not yet fully developed to understand that. So as a child, how I perceive life, that's what matters. All of us, our lives, एक तो लाइफ है जैसे वो होती है, और एक होती है कि एक होता है कि जैसे हम लाइफ को कैसे परसीव कर रहे हैं. That's all that matters. So my parents, I had a conversation, and I literally put that thought in my mother's head that, you need to hug me, you need to do this with me. Because one day I went to my friend's house and my friend's mother hugged me so much, and that felt so nice to me. I was like, oh, hugging, that's just such a great way of showing love. And I had met her for the first time, but she was just so comfortable in showing her physical love to her children and her children's friend that just made me question why my mother doesn't do it. So luckily I had that question as a child, and I put that thought in my mother's head. And then my mother, being a conscious person, she immediately put it in practice. That she, even though she was very odd in the beginning, that she never hugged me or hugged any of her children, she started to hug us in a very odd way. And then slowly that odd hug became a very warm hug. Your body just loosens up automatically when you allow love to happen to you. So that was my thing with my mother. Now, when you grow up and you've seen that kind of love language, and then you are, what is mental issues? Nothing. It's literally just feeling lovelessness. It's literally just that. When you feel no love within and you can't find it around, your mind, your body, your whole system goes for a toss. It just wants love. It wants love. It wants love in spite of you being whoever you are. And it wants your own love. First of all, I just want to tell all the people who are suffering from, mental health issues that the love that you're looking for outside is not going to satisfy you. You can try hard. It can make you feel a little better, but it will not satisfy you. It is your own love. It is your own love for yourself is the only cure for it. The medicines can, you allow you a little more time, but the only thing that you need to look for or find is love within, for yourself, respect for yourself. So once that starts to happen, you will see the world will change. You will find people to love you. They'll come because now you are attracting love. Now you are throwing the vibration of love. So only love will come around you. There is no way anything else can even exist. Even if it comes, it will not stay. It will go away. So you need to first find that love. Secondly, for the partners, I feel like, there was a scene I remember from our relationship, from very early relationship stage when, because I was still going through the dips of depression at the time, even though I had fallen in love with myself truly and I had found myself, I still had the pattern, right? The pattern also takes its own time to go. So out of the habitual pattern, I got very low and numb one day and I told him to go away. And it was a very initial phase of our life. He didn't know me that well. He didn't understand me that well. And he said, no, I'll stay here. First he's just tried to figure out whether I really want him to go or no. And so I shouted at him and I said, just go away, just leave me alone. And obviously, if you shout at any other person, the first thing is for the ego to react that, what the hell, I'm trying to be helpful and she wants to push me away, what the hell. And then comes the compassion that says, okay, maybe she does want to stay alone. And then the confusion, does she want to stay alone? Should I leave her alone? What should I do? In all that thing that was going on in his mind, he goes to the door and I'm thinking he's also going to go away. But he just looks back at me and he says, no, I will not leave you. And that meant so much. It still, gives me tears because that meant so much. Because he's ready to be with me in spite of my lowest phase, You
guys are beautiful. God bless you.
That changed a lot of things. That made me realize that there are people who can love you in spite of your darkest time. And who have the capability to love you. So all he did is just stayed back and he just hugged me. And I slept in his arms all night. But that healed something in me very, very strongly. It healed that part of me that believed, that it started to believe that there is no love left in the world. But he did. But he healed that part. So if you really love somebody, don't worry about anything else. Just be there for that person, because that person might be reacting in a way for a reason because he or she herself don't understand how to react, doesn't have a control on their emotion, and it'll come with love. Everything changes with love. Love is the only phenomena on this planet that has the potential to freaking change everything. It has the potential to stop wars. It has the potential to live a great life. It has the potential to make us feel whole. And so why are we so afraid to freaking love? If that's all that we need and want, why there's so much fear? There shouldn't be any fear to love at all. Love actually knows no fear. Real love has no fear. If you have any fear, then you should know that it's not love.
Yeah, that's a great point.
It's a clear-cut, thing. If you have any fear, then there is no love. And when you love somebody, all fears just disappear. You overpower those fears. Your love overpowers those fears. It just makes you so strong and courageous to just hold that other person how he or she needs to be held, and give all the love that you can, because that's all you can. You do you. You just do yourself. You do your love. Leave the rest on the other, on the other person or the existence. The universe will take, it'll heal on its own. But love heals everything. I've never seen love destroy ever in my life. I don't think anybody has ever seen love destroying anything.
There are not enough compliments in this world that I can give you right now. A heart full of gratitude for sharing this, because of course you're going to be inspiring a lot of people who watch this video and read the blog. James, anything you would want to add?
Oh, I don't know. How do I top that? I will add a few notes. I will add a few notes from the perspective of a partner. When you're with somebody who's going through a dark time, that could be depression. It could be a job loss. It could be a family member, death of a family member. There's a lot of different circumstances that can drive your partner to be low. It does create a lot of confusion sometimes because mixed signals can come through. Your partner may communicate things to you that are the opposite of what they actually want or the opposite of what they're thinking. I think it's important just to take a breath, take a pause before making any rash decisions, and just ask yourself, what is really necessary in this situation? What is necessary? In the story that she had shared about her, what was necessary for her was to not be alone and to have somebody there by her side and to show her love when she was feeling loveless. And so I chose to do that. There's many circumstances in life where people, they freeze and they don't know what to do. Like a car accident happens, right? And there's 100 people standing there watching the car accident, but nobody's going to save the person from the car. It's I don't know why it's a part of our human nature. I think it's a deep like fight or flight mode that we have where we just want to get away from things that are difficult. But as best as you can, if your partner is going through something very challenging, pause, take a deep breath, assess the situation, and then ask yourself, what can I do to make that person's life a little bit better in this moment? Is it just to sit down next to them? Is it to have a conversation? Is it to, bring them some chocolates, make a pizza? Is it to get that person out of the house and just go somewhere, Is it to call friends over and invite more people with more positivity into the situation so that you can kind of change that energy? There's a lot of things that we can do, and we have more control over our own emotions, and we have more influence over our partner's emotions than most of us understand. And if you can choose to try to identify the right thing and then do it, it makes a world of difference.
Yeah. But first you know that you really want to do that for the other person.
Yes.
You
correct.
should be willing to do that for yourself and for the other person. That's why I said, like, you need to be first very sure whether you really want this person in your life and
yes.
you love this person truly. Then let love be the reason for everything. Everything else will happen.
Yes.
A lot of times when friends or acquaintances who are couples and facing a lot of challenges come to me, I tell them you should read that book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. But a lot of people don't read it because they don't have the intention to understand that two people can have two different love languages.
Yeah,
it's a great book.
What you bring to the picture right now through this video is how important it is to actually understand that two people are very different and their love languages are going to be very different.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Words of affirmation, quality time, gifts, acts of service, physical touch.
Yeah.
5 different ways that you can give and show love, and many of them you should definitely know your partner's love language. How does your partner receive love? How does your partner prefer to give love? And know that about yourself as well. It's really, really helpful. It's really helpful.
You got to spend that time and know the other person. A lot of people I've seen this, a lot of people like to just crib about life, and they pretend that they want to learn something, but then they don't. They just have a conversation and just forget about it. They don't really make any significant changes that they are looking to make in life. And so that's why a lot of people I feel like end up suffering in a relationship, whether it's even if it's with their own self.
Yes, beautiful message. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. That was a great interview.
It was fun. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.